And thank you, Louis. TrueView is awesome. So I highly recommend you guys use your services if you haven't already. So just to tell you a little bit about myself, I am a Miami native. I have been licensed for 10 years. I'm the broker owner of Opus Real Estate Group. We run it like a team brokerage. I also produce full time. I have 2 Shih Tzus and I'm pregnant with my first baby on the way. So this has been an extra experience right now. But let me go ahead and share my screen. We're going to be talking about goals, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys things that we do or I do regarding my goals. So okay, there we go. All right, so being a goal digger, right? Not a gold digger. So we have had goals all our lives. Think of when we were born, our first goal was to crawl, then to walk. And as we got older was you had to brush your teeth daily, then you had to do your bed, you had to do homework at school. And it's really been part of our lives since we were born. They truly are it is the oxygen to our dreams. As we've gotten older, we had a little bit of larger goals. So it could have been, graduating from high school, then graduating from college, planning a trip to Europe or going to Greece, buying your first home. These were all goals that you set up and that you either have completed or that you're in the process of working to complete and to achieve. And then when you get into real estate, what's interesting is you tend to also make a goal. And your goal tends to be, I'm gonna make 100 grand a year, or I'm gonna sell that $4 million listing and I'm gonna be a luxury listing agent. And with that money, that I've made my money for the year. But what's interesting is we don't have a roadmap on how to get there, because when we were in high school, we started in 9th grade and every day we got homework. And every week or every bi-week, we had a test. And then every year we had to pass a grade to then get to the next grade, to then to finally one day get to where that picture was so you can wear your cap and gown and graduate. So it took 4 years and it took daily work and it took weekly work. So what happens is when you get to be a realtor, you need to set up that roadmap because no one's going to set it up for you. You are now a business owner and it's your job to figure out how are you going to get into getting a $4 million listing, or how are you going to get that income goal that you set up for yourself. So one of the biggest things that realtors do is a business plan, which is awesome. And if you've been doing one, I commend you because that is a great roadmap. But I love this goal. I love this quote because it's very simple. If you just say you're going to make 100 grand a year, it's a dream. If you go ahead and you put it down what you're going to do to get there, it's a plan. But unless you implement your plan, that dream isn't going to come true. So we're going to go over all these steps today. And I wanted to share with you, you guys, we technically already have 6 months left to 2020. And I think it's crazy, but if you think about it, the work you do in December, you don't see that income till January. So that's why we only have 6 months left. Catherine, she mentioned to me a few weeks ago, we just have to get our business plans that we did ours in November. We just have to get our business plans and rip it up and do a new one. And I was like, you know what? She's right. We do have to do a new one because we just had 2 months of very little sales or not the amount of sales that we probably expected. And our pipeline is going to be probably a little different, or our strategies on what we do might be a little different based on what we're going through. So I agree with her. I think we should rip up our business plans. And I would love to do a little strategy with you guys to help you guys get at least a 2020 goal. So let's forget about what you made between January and now, and let's set up between right now for the next 6 months, what is going to be your income goal. So say whatever number you want to make. And let's go ahead and write that number down, put it in a piece of paper, and grab your phones and grab your calculator on your phone. I want you to go ahead and put that goal, that income goal, in your calculator and divide it by 6. So for example, if your plan is to make $60,000 between now and the rest of the year, divide that by 6, and we have what your monthly income goal is. So now my goal is every month I want to make $10,000 if my goal was 60 grand between now and then. I want you then to go ahead and divide that number by the percentage based on your split right now that you have with your brokerage. If you're on a 100-0 split, use the 2.7 because you do have expenses. If you have an assistant, you have marketing expenses, you have your CRM. You guys, we're running a business. There's expenses running a business. You know, it's a restaurant. They have expenses. We're realtors. We have expenses running a business. You have to pay for gas. You have to do your marketing photos. So whatever your monthly income goal was that you have in your calculator, go ahead and divide it. So if you're on a 70-30 split, divide it by the 2.1%. And whatever that number is, it's going to be a big number. But that's going to be the number of the contracts you have to have in sales. So like your sales contract, the purchase prices or the sales price, that's what you're targeting here. So in this perfect example, the goal here is 476,000. So what I want you to do is just focus on this. This is going to be your goal every month to get between now and December to get that income goal. So in the example I did is 476,000. So I know I have to have buyers and sellers in contract for up to 476,000 to be in progress to get my goal. So every month I have to have at least 476,000 sales, right, total going ahead into closing. So that is that's the number that I want you guys to focus on. And you want to always have that or higher in your pipeline. So whatever sales volume number you got based on the division on the math we did, make that your goal from now to December. Okay, I need to have this much in my pipeline. I have, you know, so, and every deal adds up. The renters add up, you know, 150 grand sale adds up with another 200 grand sale and another 200 grand sale. And all of a sudden now you have 650,000 in your pipeline. So just keep adding up those sales volume and just focus on that. So now what we did is that we got your goal and we made it into a monthly goal. So now let's go ahead, because remember, a goal without the action plan is just a daydream. So what we need now is, how are we going to put your goal into a plan? And it's all based on activity. It's all, what are you doing daily? What are you doing weekly? What are you doing monthly? And these are all the things that you guys need to write down. What are you going to do daily, weekly, and monthly to get yourself to meet these buyers and these sellers or these landlords and these tenants to get to these goals? So I'm gonna give you an example. Focus daily on activities. And what happens is you wanna focus on income producing activities. So I wrote several, and I'm gonna share with you something else after, but meeting clients, speaking to clients, getting into contract, getting new leads. You know, what are you doing to get new leads? Like, you have to have new leads coming in, or you have to be speaking to clients to be getting referrals. And I love this quote, because what happens is in many realtors, and I think you can all maybe have experience, is we go through like this yo-yo. You know, we have an amazing month, and then next month it's a horrible month. And why is that? It's because you have this big sale, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna take a few days off, or no big deal, I don't need to do that, I just had a big closing. And then you're hurting the following month, because success is never owned, it's rented, and rent is due every single day. Guys, like, just think like the top producer agents, you know, that make like 200 million in sales, like, they're at it every day. It doesn't matter that they close a $20 million sale. Now, are there many realtors that close a big sale and they're like, yes, now I'm going to Europe, I took a month off and I'm not working the rest of the year? Yeah, but is that the realtor you want to be? Or do you want to be this, like, I want to make more every year, I want to have bigger goals every year, and this is my business, and I treat it like a business. So in a business, you're open every day and you do work every day. And so what happens is many realtors put all this time and effort, and they're like, yeah, I'm working, but you're working on stuff that is non-income producing. So for example, like, I'm building this website, and then you take, you know, a week to build your website. Or, oh, I'm doing all this marketing material, and I'm creating all these flyers, and that's awesome, because all those things are things that you need to do to work on your business. But what happens is, if you keep doing that, you're not working on things that's bringing in the money. And that's why the income producing activities is awesome. So this is something that I used when I first started, and I recommend, and I have a lot of my team members when they first start use this, because this is what teaches you what is income producing versus what is not income producing. So it's called the 15-point day. I recommend to take a picture of this, and it's a daily accountability tool. And the goal here is that every day you get 15 points based on doing activities that leave you a little closer to making the money. So for example, you close the deal, you got your money. So congratulations, you deserve a win. You got a listing. So earlier in the listing presentation, you already heard, the listing gets you a little bit closer to knowing how much money you can get. So if that's a win, you can also get buyers out of it, that's a win. So that's a 15-point day, that alone is a big win. But then there's also other things that are activities. So for example, yesterday I had a showing. So I showed property, so I got 7 points. And I also received an offer on one of my listings, so I got 5 points. So yesterday I got 12 points. You know, then if you get into a contract, you get 7 points. The whole goal of this is that you track it daily, and your goal is to get 15 points per day. And I love this because there's going to be days that you're going to get 0 points, or there's going to be days you get 2 points or 5 points, and you're going to be like, crap, what else can I do today to get more points? Or what, I need to do something different tomorrow because I can't keep doing 0 points. So this is a great reminder to maybe you need to change what you're doing to focus more on things that are income producing versus working on the business that's not necessarily bringing in the income immediately. Another thing I put is time blocking, and I think this is so critical. I've been on the call since 10 a.m. and so have you, if you have all too. Every single one of the speakers mentioned one thing. They all mentioned calling. The first speaker said calling her own clients. The next one said calling sellers that she didn't get the listing on. The other one said calling international clients no matter what time it was, but picking up the phone and calling expired listings. They all spend time calling people. Time block this in your calendar. Like your calendar should have, if you're gonna call every day, put, okay, 1 hour time block every single day. Or if you're gonna do this on a weekly basis, then put it on a weekly basis that for 3 hours or 4 hours, you just call people. And I'm gonna give you guys a good suggestion, and it's when you call a doctor and you ask, you know, you're trying to make an appointment, does he tell you, yeah, what day do you wanna come? Or yeah, what time are you available on Tuesday? No. He tells you, oh, we have available Tuesday or Thursday, Tuesday at 9 a.m. or Thursday at 4 p.m. Which one works for you? And sometimes you're like, oh, Tuesday at 4 works, or other times you're like, oh, well, Tuesday at 3 works. Let me check. You guys, do the same thing. You are responsible for your own calendar. If you don't respect your own calendar, who will? So these time blocks, that's why it's so important, because in this time frame, I'm not showing you a property. I'm not meeting you. You go in my calendar based on the times I tell you. So when a client wants to meet, or we're going to schedule a listing appointment, or we're going to schedule a showing for a listing or a showing with a buyer, I get them 2 times in 2 days. Hey, does Tuesday at 10 a.m. work for you, or Wednesday at 5? And I usually use the morning and the afternoon, especially right now, because I know many of them have more flexibility. And they'll say, oh, Tuesday at 5 doesn't, but Wednesday at 5. And if it works for my calendar, I say yes. But if it doesn't, I find the time that doesn't, because you need to make sure that your time blocks are the #1 thing. So focus on the points. That's your daily help to make sure that you are doing income producing, and time block the calling, time block the following up. It's truly important. So we talked about when we were talking about the day, what are you going to do daily, what are you going to do weekly, and what are you going to do monthly? So these are strategies, these are activities. So I'm going to give you an example. So social media marketing. I think all of you are posting on Instagram and Facebook. Are you going to do that monthly? Probably not. Are you going to do it weekly? Probably not. You're going to want to do it daily. So that's like an activity that you want to do daily. Now, I will tell you something. There's a bunch of programs out there that you can set it up to go automatic. Hootsuite, Facebook Creator Studios. That one's free, and it lets you post for the next 6 months automatically. So I literally right now, in this time that's been a little slower, I set up for the next 6 months a video to be going out by every single week automatically. So I set it up to be done. So try to create systems. If you don't have the discipline to do this daily, or sometimes you get distracted, I would use systems to post daily. The other thing, strategy. So the gentleman said expired listings. Are you going to do this daily, or are you going to do this weekly? This is part of your time blocking. So this is something, if you're going to do it weekly, you want to do, okay, every Tuesdays from 2 to 6 p.m., I call expires. Mailers. This is something you're not going to do every day or every week. You're going to do this monthly or quarterly, and you want to already put it in your calendar. Every month, I'm going to go ahead and send a mailer. Same thing, guys. There's companies that let you do the mailers and already set it up for the rest of the year or the rest of the few months. Try to get a system to do that. But if not, it's already in your strategy or in your plan to do monthly. I'll give you one. The lady in the beginning talked about touches. So like right now is Mother's Day. I set up a few weeks ago, okay, what am I going to do for Mother's Day to give to my Mother's clients? So I set up a few hours, I scheduled everything, and like now they're going to be delivered today and tomorrow. So those are set times that you have, but it's not every day that I do that, or it's not every week I do that. It's every, monthly I set up what is going to be my touch for my past business. These are some other things I do, personal. So this on the vision board. I've always done a vision board for myself. This year, I do it on January 1st because I think it's like the start of the new year. This year I did it with my husband, so that's why there's men watches and cars on my vision board. As you see, there are several things in there, like a lot of traveling. I love traveling. And we had certain trips that we wanted to plan, and certain trips we wanted to do if we reached our goal, which I do recommend you guys do that. Actually, I forgot to mention that. So set up a reward trip. If you were to get that goal that you set up in the beginning, what is something that you want to give yourself as a reward? Maybe it's a trip somewhere. Maybe it's a watch. Maybe it's a purse. Maybe it's, buying a house. Whatever it is, give yourself a reward if you get there. Because at the end of the day, you set up your goal and you should be rewarded. Same way when you graduated college, you were rewarded. So you set up your goal for reaching your, you set up your reward for reaching your goal. So the vision board is that. So I put this on my bathroom. I put this in front of the toilet, so I see it every morning. And it's just a visual reminder of my goals, personal, professional, and it's our goals at this point. But I think it's important to see it, to visualize the big picture. As you can see, the baby was in there. I put it January 1st, and it's coming true. Some of the other things might have to be changed because obviously my sales volume numbers are not going to be, I think, where I wanted them. So, but it's a goal. It's a goal I set up January 1st. And, if I achieved these goals, I had reward trips, set up for the next year. The other thing I do is a business plan. So this is a one-page business plan. Maybe some of you have attended the class I taught on the association. I'm happy to share it. This is the best thing for you guys to see on a, I see it like every day, at least a few times a week. And it kind of is the breakdown to what we've been talking about of like, what is your annual goal broken down into monthly, then even broken down into weekly if you want. What are the things you're going to do to get to that goal? And then what are going to be the things you're going to implement on that strategy? So the strategy is social media. So where is it going to be in your category? Is it going to be monthly, weekly, or daily? Another thing that I love, and I think it has helped me tremendously in making sure that I'm on top of my goal, is an income tracker. This is an Excel sheet. I created it. I'm happy to share it. If you notice in the bottom, there's 3 tabs. It says open cases, submitted, and reported. I put everyone I've ever physically met in open cases. I put my submitted. This is actually what I have under contract right now. And then once I close them, I cut and paste them into the reported. But I always look at my submitted because as soon as this starts getting like running low, this is not when I'm way under my monthly goal budget, but I look at my sales volume. That's all I look at. So my sales volume goal for this year was higher than 1,998,000. I'm not going to push myself. We're obviously going through a pandemic, But the point is, as soon as I know, like I have 3 of these 4 deals closing in the next 2 weeks. So I know my pipeline is running very, very low. So I'm like, I start freaking out and I'm like, I need to put more in my pipeline. Like, remember that sales volume goal we set up? Like, this is that. This is the number that I'm constantly looking at. So if your sales volume goal for this year is $1 million for the next month, like you always want to have on this like income tracker that in your pipeline, that sales volume goal. So this to me is very visual. I personally love it. I do have a CRM that tracks, but I've changed CRM so many times that these Excel sheets have been my favorite to go back through the years and see like how you've done through the years and see how much your sales volume goals have changed and how, you know, you grow as you've been in this business, you do this thing right, you build relationships, you build experience, you're gonna have more and more business every year. So like, I love looking at these numbers. The year I got married, it wasn't as good because I had so distracted with planning a wedding, but I'm sure this year is not going to be as good either with a baby and a pandemic, but it's okay. We're human and we're a business and not every year does a business do amazing. So here's some other tips and things I do. So daily goals. I do have a daily goal all the time. Make them small. I think sometimes we're like, oh, you know, my goal is to, we put such big goals, like do a small daily goal. Like that's your small win. It's a daily progress. It's little wins. Especially right now with what we've been going through. We have a daily call with my team. And what we did is that in that daily call, we're like, let's set up a small win, a small daily goal every day, because a small win is a win. And you guys, like, it's a daily progress to get to the big results. Accountability is huge. If you are self-accountable, amazing, awesome, because it's very hard to be. If you're not, get yourself an accountability partner. See if, you know, a friend of yours is a realtor or somebody is willing to do accountability partner. You know, accountability for the points is good, accountability for a daily goal. Same way you see accountability partners for weight loss and other things. I highly recommend it for your own business because they're small wins and they do add up. And why is all of this important? I think it's good to know. So A, it gives you focus. So now you guys all set up in an income goal. That is your focus. It allows you to measure progress. All right, you guys all set up now a monthly sales volume goal. That's how you're gonna know if you're in progress to reach your goal or not. You have to have that number in your pipeline. And at some months you're gonna have it higher, some months you're gonna have lower, but you know whether you're gonna reach your goal or not as long as you follow that monthly sales volume goal. It keeps you locked in and undistracted. That's the 15-point day. That's the what's gonna make sure every day you're doing these activities. Goals help you overcome procrastination. That's your time blocking. That's your time blocking for calling people. That's your time blocking for sending the mailers. That's the time blocking for the social media posts. That's the time blocking for calling expireds. Whatever strategy you plan to use or you're gonna get to get business, that the time blocking is the way you overcome procrastination. And goals give you motivation. So I told you, give yourself a reward. And that reward is what's going to keep you guys motivated to get there. So that's why I have the vision board, because I see it every day. So like I wanted to do certain trips and I see the pictures every day and those pictures are those trips. So like that keeps me motivated daily. So that's why it's so important. And we did these 5 things in this, 30-minute session. So there's my information. I'm happy to share with you guys the income tracker. I can also share with you guys the business plan. I know several questions came in, but I guess I can go in and see them. So let me.
It was mostly for you to send the goal tracker. So they can reach out to you or you'll be sending it. Somebody did ask, what CRM do you use?
So I just switched right now to Follow Up Boss. I really like it. I think it's awesome. Before that, we were using RealVolve. And before that, we were using Infusionsoft. Infusionsoft is very, very technical. So if you're really good at technical stuff, there's crazy good stuff you can do in there. I'm not very techie savvy. So to me, the Follow Up Boss has been awesome because a lot of the systems have already been in place. And I like that you can call and text and it records it. So it's a little easier to be in contact. So we just I just switched to it literally in the beginning of this pandemic. So it was like the perfect time to switch to a CRM, but I do recommend that one. And if you do want any of the stuff, just email me or text me, and then I'll send me your email, and I'll go ahead and I'll email you the whichever one you want. If it's the income tracker or the one-page business plan or the 15 points, I'm happy to share them. I don't know if there was anything else, or like, are you sharing info via email? So yeah, there's my, just do me a favor, email me, just because it's a little easier for me just to get my email and just reply. So just email me there and I'll be happy to share it with you. Can you show the slide with the points? Yeah, let me show the slide with the points. Give me 1 second. Let me go back. Share screen. So yeah, take a picture of this. I think it's so, here it is. It's called the 15-point day. It's actually a sales point system. I just created it for real estate. So you can change it based on, you know, if you do something else that's not in there, that's close to income producing. But it's the whole point of this is to get you closer to what is income producing. And I would tell you this is powerful, because again, like if you're getting 0, 0, 0 or 0 and 2, you know you're not doing work that's getting you closer to the income. And I think right now, especially as a lot of us are working from home and seeing less clients, is, you know, maybe don't make it 15 points, but make it that your goal is 7 points, though, until we get back, you know, until you get back on the routine and the normal stuff. And then I think there was another question. Sorry, I'm like, okay. Yeah, let me share the slide with my information again. And so yeah, here's my information. Yeah, so just email me if you want the stuff, and I'll go ahead. I'll be happy to share it.
All right, thank you so much, Joanna. That was amazing.
Thank you.